enjoy the fun, chatting with interesting people while styling while we run. It's Kickin in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.
One. Hello, and welcome to Kickin' and Crocs, the podcast. We talk about martial arts stuff, geeky stuff, and may the 4th be with you, ladies and gentlemen. Always.
And also with you.
And also...
We need to pause for a second.
Why? What happened?
Because I got myself comfortable, but I need to get up.
Okay.
I need my Star Wars Crocs.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't have Star Wars Crocs.
Are we keeping this in, or are we
We can
starting
keep
over?
it in. I'm just going to stand up and get my Star Wars Crocs.
Okay.
The very ones for the
And
video we're about to
Nick
discuss.
is going to get his as well, I suppose. All right, I'll just sit here by myself then. Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's Star Wars Day. I'm the three of us are a huge Star Wars fans. We're all huge Star Wars fans here. I have on my Crocs with my Baby Yoda gibbet in them. These were the Crocs that I bought in the video titled he bought his first pair of Crocs, Nick.
Yeah,
so
and you
Nick
got those
bought his
awesome
first pair of
Crocs?
Crocs. And this is where I got these for our Baby Yoda gibbet. So I wore these in the video we're about to discuss later on. And Dave is bringing over his Crocs that he wore in that video that we're about to discuss in a little bit. So happy Star Wars Day, guys.
Yeah. I love it.
All right. I have
I'm
the proper
such a big
attire. I got to wear
I love
these
Star Wars.
specific Crocs because these
Yes,
are my
indeed.
lightsaber Crocs.
As you guys can all see, I have a Yoda mug. It is a Christmas mug, but it's the only Yoda mug that Dave had. So I have a
I only own one
Yoda Christmas mug.
Yeah, you don't have too
I
many
gave
of
it
those.
to him though for today.
Well,
I didn't give it to him, but like he
I
could use
have,
it today.
cold drinks. We have a Vader head, a Stormtrooper head, and a Chewbacca. Yeah.
We have a somewhere in my parents' garage is a TIE Fighter popcorn bowl. Popcorn from
Sounds
from
awesome.
Disney Star Wars Land.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was well worth the exorbitant amount of money we paid for that plastic.
I'm sure it
TIE Fighter.
was. I'm sure it was.
Oh, it's
It's about the cost of a real working TIE Fighter. So
I believe it. I believe it. They have because of in honor.
the
of May
Emperor's like,
4th.
how much are we spending on popcorn?
I know exactly.
That's why the Emperor
we have
fell.
to be on
It
brand.
was. That's why they couldn't afford.
It was budget. It was budgeting that.
That's
You're
what the
telling me we couldn't afford to reinforce that one little trench?
That was the
Well,
reason.
yes,
the
sir. We
second
spent
Death
the whole
Star-
budget on.
you should wrap Crocs logo around
What?
What?
around
On the lightsaber? Have him hold the lightsaber?
That was why the second Death Star never got built all the way because they had all the money
budget
spent
cuts.
on
Yeah,
popcorn budget. Popcorn budget. He's like, I kick things. I don't hold things. We'll work on that. So for those of you that are listening,
we're working on it.
trying to get the awesome lightsaber you got there being held by the Crocs
Yeah,
logo.
this is
Not
my. I'm very happy with this guy here. I had this for a while. I used it maybe once and then never touched it ever again. And then for this Star Wars, so at the karate school, we did a Star Wars night where we give the kids little plastic lightsabers. We teach them how to do a little lightsaber combo and have some fun. They get to do a little lightsaber duel with their friends.
We give them laser swords.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's
No
it's
copyright
cheap,
here.
Cheap knockoff
None.
brand.
Laser
They're called
swords.
Laser Sword. That's the name of the brand, Laser Sword. But they look like lightsabers. That's exactly what they're supposed meant to look like. So we teach them a little lightsaber routine. They got to have a little duel with some of their friends. And I decided, it'd be cool if I dusted off my actual lightsaber, like Luke Skywalker lightsaber replica, and bring it.
Yes,
So there
if
you
you
go.
only had a steady kyber crystal. that would be nice.
I forget how to change it back to steady.
Without using the app, which is currently on the phone.
Yeah,
which is
the app
currently
is
our
on the
camera.
phone
Yeah, which
that
is
really
currently
controls
camera.
it, which is unfortunately our camera. But this looks pretty cool.
I like it.
I enjoyed it. And then we also used this lightsaber in a video, which I believe most of you should have seen already because I already uploaded it. It's already up. It's in the ether. So if you haven't seen it yet, what are you doing? It's linked
And
below.
I heard in some of the theaters had Revenge of the Sith out again, right? So that's cool. I didn't see it, but some people were talking
I
about
missed it. I'm so mad.
Yes.
It actually made quite a bit of money again in theaters. And Hayden Christensen and Samuel Jackson actually surprised a group of people in one of the theaters and stuff like that, which is
so
really
cool.
cool to see.
Well, you gotta figure it's somewhat easier to relaunch a popular movie because you're not spending all the initial expense. It's just
You're just
the
saying,
expense
hey,
of getting
come
it
see
out.
Yeah,
It's
just get it
nostalgia.
back
It's
out.
nostalgia factor. Yeah, that's all that it is.
Similar to
It was
Ninja
its
Turtles coming soon.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
August.
Go see that.
I did the whole build a lightsaber thing
At
in
Disney?
with my nephews, and that's a whole process.
We did that. Luca did it too, but it's the same one that you used in the video, the extended one. It isn't like Steve's, but it was still build your own handle, and then the.
Oh no
lightsaber.
no! So you different experience. You didn't do it in the Disney Star Wars land. You like
Savvy's Workshop
It
is what it's called,
was
right?
one of the
Savvy's
It
Workshop.
was one of the. It was before no, because it was before the land was open.
okay.
So they had a
Galaxy's
build
Edge.
your own, and
right,
they had
not the
it
same.
where you
Because
walk
they
in,
have
but
they have a
not
build your own thing.
Oh, it's very different
They
now.
have a build your own thing where it's a plastic like.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. No. You
Oh, this is
build
different.
you build this guy.
Oh, cool.
Similar to it.
You do like a whole. They have actors. You have to make an appointment because you can only go
You have to use the force to put it together.
yourself and the person.
In a way.
you
They
put
make
all
a
the
little
parts
show out of it. It's
together. They
fun.
make a little show out
I've
of it.
never
I have
been
the
able to
whole
do it.
thing. I have the whole thing recorded actually.
Oh,
the
you
whole
do?
show because I was with Dominic and then Brandon went with Logan. I think is how we did it because each builder's allowed one guest.
Oh, maybe that could be a fun little short in the future one day.
And then they do the whole. They go through the whole process.
I didn't point.
hope.
You
I didn't
choose
say
your
show it now.
You choose your kyber crystal. You
Oh, that's cool.
the whole nine.
Now, there's a little crystal they put in it.
Yeah,
Oh, that's neat.
and then you could buy the
You
store.
have one here?
No,
made?
I didn't make one.
Dominic,
you had
you
it
said
for
Dominic
your-
and
okay,
Logan
just
made
for
it.
Dominic
There
and
you go.
Logan made it. I would make one, and they have a whole
would make
process of shipping it home too because it's big. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
So then they set up whole shipping so you can get it back to where you
And it's the solid same.
solid.
concept,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. And you could buy like they make
A case for it, right? Like
they make
whole
a
little
case for it,
travel
but they make
for
like
it?
for the handle. They make like a display,
Oh yeah, a little stand for
a little
it.
stand for the
Yeah.
handle.
really cool.
But you can
Yeah.
purchase different kyber crystals.
So you
in the
can
stores.
switch it out.
Well, I've
yeah,
got to imagine
yeah.
people are buying different handles, different crystals. And
Well,
not
you
the saber
make
itself,
your
but-
whole when you make the thing you design your handle, you design your hilt, you design.
You design everything. You literally
Yeah.
pick and choose
and then
from
you go
certain
through this
sections.
whole like they have a Jedi that leads the whole thing, and you're part of a resistance.
That's
and,
really
like,
cool.
It's like a 25-minute show.
When a lot of the newer Star Wars games, you're custom building your lightsabers during the game too. Like you'll find different hilts, you can change it around, which is cool. I know Luca was playing Fortnite with a friend of his right before
They
I
just
came
did
here.
another Star Wars one. Yeah.
they did a
So
season
you
for
you
Star
actually
Wars.
grab like different lightsabers. You can fly an X-wing or
TIE fighter.
TIE fighter. Thank you.
God,
Yep.
that's actually really cool.
That was cool. I played around and I had it's like a portal. Like you'll see a picture of a Jedi or a Sith. So I actually saw a portal of the Emperor. You go in, you come out of the portal, you get the lightsaber, and then you get if they have abilities, you'll get their abilities. So if you're the Emperor, you hold block and you can shoot lightning. So that's
Wow,
cool.
pretty cool.
And then I said all I want to do is find a TIE fighter. So I just ran around, avoided other characters until there was a TIE fighter. Found it, jumped in it, and it was pretty cool. I got shot down, but anyway, it was cool.
Yeah, you know. we
By
just
an
had to have
X-wing,
fun.
not by a
You're
guy
just, they're just
standing
there
on
to
the
have
street,
fun.
so-
Yeah, exactly. You're there to
I
have
I
fun.
do. I do.
It was fun.
I
was
don't
cool.
play Fortnite, but I did know it was because the kids were talking about it on our Jedi night. That
Yeah.
Fortnite
I,
season.
I have played it, and like I've mentioned before in the past, when the Avatar: The Last Airbender
That was a
package
great
came out,
season.
I purchased all of it.
You know what was nice?
But,
That one overlapped with the Gods of Greece.
Yeah, the
Which was
Greek-
awesome.
yeah.
A fantastic game pack.
Pretty
so
cool
now
little
you had
crossover.
the leftovers of that plus the Avatar abilities was
Yes,
so cool.
really cool. I loved that. But didn't really play. Haven't played since that.
Oh no,
honestly.
we hadn't
Yeah.
played, and then Luke was like,
Star
"Oh, I heard
Wars
there's
kinda
gonna be
like,
a Star Wars thing." So you logged in.
Yeah, I'm considering going back on and doing that again. But yeah, Star Wars is a big part of me life.
On your short, you had asked favorite movie. I did put mine. No
I
one
saw
else
that. I
added
saw.
yet.
Yeah, I remember that. Which actually, you know, it would be cool because we have done at this point in time, we've done a podcast on 2 May the 4ths, right? We've been doing this for 2 years, right?
I think to May the 4th.
Yeah, done it for 2 May the 4th. Well, if any event, let's do a little quiz for the people that are watching.
Okay.
Anybody watching on YouTube, comment below. What are our favorite Star Wars movies? We've talked about
Yeah,
them
I've
literally
talked about
on
this,
both different. Both of our May the 4th episodes, so we're not going to talk about it today. So
Well,
if you,
I can give a hint. So I'll give a hint because I haven't watched Andor. Is that what it's called?
Andor season 2,
and
yeah.
that is a prequel to my favorite.
You just gave it away. But yeah, there you go.
No, not for somebody who hasn't watched them.
That's a good point. That's a good
Yeah,
point.
if you only watch like the originals, right?
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
know.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched Andor yet.
Me either.
The reviews are.
I haven't watched season 2. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I've watched season 1.
I
I
haven't
hope
watched-
season 2 picks up.
I haven't
Season one was
watched
so slow.
any-
Well, you need to go into it knowing
I
what it's
haven't
going
watched
to be.
any of the Star Wars shows outside of the cartoons.
I have, and I'll be honest, like they were all rough.
Outside of the,
besides the Mandalorian, I would say
And
Mandalorian.
Ahsoka was pretty good.
Ahsoka actually was pretty
I mean,
good.
I've
It has some good moments in
I'm
that.
working
There are some things
my-
I wish didn't happen, but they're coming out with season 2 of that as well.
I
so
am
I'm
working
looking
my
forward
way up to eventually doing it. It's just I don't
Time.
know. I like Time.
well-
the Clone Wars, the cartoon,
It's amazing, yeah.
and then Rebels, the cartoon. It
Did
was
you
all
finish-
really good.
Did you watch Bad Batch yet?
Yes, I watched
the
Bad
last
Batch.
season.
I don't know if I watched the last season.
They tie in some really cool characters.
But,
You need to watch. And then Tales of what
As
is
a
it?
Clone Wars fan, you have to watch the last
Yeah.
What's
season
the
of
coming
Bad
out?
Batch.
Because they had the little short ones that come out too. They did Tales of the Jedi. They did Tales of the Empire. What's the one that's coming out now with Ventress and Cad Bane being the two main focal points?
Bad.
Tales. No, that wasn't bad. No. Tales of the shoot. What is it called?
I don't know.
Oh no.
What's the one where it's like every episode is a different artist? Images or
Visions. Star
Love
Wars
those.
Visions.
I
They're like
love
anime
those.
style.
I got turned off with
They have a show coming out because the most popular one was the Ronin.
yes.
The most popular one was that one.
the black and white kind of one?
They're
Yeah.
giving the Ronin its own show.
Good.
The last couple of
That's real
the last movies really, I didn't like what they were doing in that universe, like where they were going with that. So I'm like turned off from any like modern. I'm like, don't mess with my childhood.
Yeah.
Don't
But
mess
you
with my.
see, they kind of shifted away from those. They like, any of the shows that are coming out are either like disconnected from the mainstream
Yeah.
story,
Oh, yeah.
or it goes way back to like back into Luke's era and stuff like that. So like it's they're trying to distance themselves while not completely
Well,
decanonizing
they
it.
messed up the newer ones by
They know.
by trying so hard to
They
kill the
know.
old characters.
Yep.
And
They know what
there was
they
no
did.
need for that. You didn't even need the old characters in it.
No.
You could have referenced them because it's the same universe and never had them
I
there.
mean,
Instead of
I'm
what
one
they
of
did.
those diehard guys where like Luke's my man, and like I'm not that
crushed him.
interested in like
Yeah.
things outside of Luke Skywalker, like the whole Skywalker clan. That was what like I was interested in that story.
Yeah.
And you want to expand the universe, okay, but like. I was a fan of the books, but like Luke reestablishes the Jedi Order. Luke's
the books are
man.
so
like
good.
They had
Good.
so much room.
Books
to
are
do
so
a
good.
Luke building
like
the Jedi Order.
Luke is the man,
series.
and Luke is nothing. Like
He's a whiny baby. He
that's what I'm
hides.
saying. Like
Well, they referenced that he rebuilt the Order, but like within 3 seconds he drops the entire thing because of his nephew.
because
And that is not
Kylo
what
showed
happened.
signs of the dark side. Meanwhile,
No, they
the
know they
entire Empire
three.
Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He's constantly taught. Well, end of
But
Return.
even Luke showed the dark tendencies.
Well, yeah, but end of the Empire
this, I
Strikes
believe.
Back, end of the Empire Strikes Back,
There it is.
and then all of the Return of the Jedi, where he's like, no, there's good in him. I felt it. Like he's
Yeah.
still, you know,
and that was
he still has that belief.
bad guy supreme other
and
than
then
the
like,
Empire.
and then
Emperor.
like
Mm-hmm.
what? Kylo Ren shows signs. Let me murder him in his sleep. Yeah, that's very Luke Skywalker. Like, come on.
Sounds about right.
No, they
God.
Yeah,
they know
quit
they
on
made
him
some
immediately and
mistakes.
kill him.
They know they made some mistakes.
that was
So
like-
they're distancing. Like I even heard that the current head of Lucasfilm is actually stepping down this year at some point. We all know
Good.
who she is.
I feel like
So-
whoever is, you don't know who she is. What's her name?
No, I said,
he said
we all know who
Oh,
she
yeah,
is.
yeah, I was gonna say.
Well,
We don't
I-
want to
I-
say names.
I just have
but,
a problem with
Say her name.
Kennedy.
It's not
I don't like
copyrighted
character.
name.
I don't like character assassination. Like, that's not the character. That's so out of character.
What do they
for
say
him.
when you do that? It's because you don't know how to write the script. Like when you're killing off all your main characters all the time.
once
Now I'm
again,
not saying something like Game of Thrones where they're killing off main characters all the left and right.
If there's a
This is
reason
different.
for
You
it,
didn't
if
have
there's
to.
a
Well, that was
reason
the
for
source
it.
material that directed them to do that. This is just
That's
out
what I'm
of
saying.
their own brains.
There was no drive to do that here. You could have left them all alive. It's galaxies of activity. You could have left them alive.
There was
Well,
a bunch of developments
they had a whole wealth of, and they're like, nope, we're not going to use any of that. We're going to do our own thing. And you're like,
And you have
all right.
enough juice in the name that you could introduce new characters and not need to diminish or destroy the old characters.
Not at all. Yeah.
Like the series that we like did that. They brought in their own characters and it was fine. Mandalorian was a brand new character.
Yeah, yeah, and it explored a race of people that was made insanely popular by the Clone Wars TV show, and there you go. Like,
Well, the Clone Wars was an entire cartoon built around. I mean, how many seasons did they get out of that? And it was built
5?
in between
2 movies.
2 movies.
Yep.
five,
like-
6 seasons.
Like
Easy.
you could have easily explored.
Oh,
Any
wait.
of it.
They did get 6 seasons. I'm sorry, there was 7 technically.
Well, I did like when
season 7 came out.
When did
After
was it
Rebels.
Ahsoka
Yes.
where they redid it live action for a couple seconds for the flashback? Right, it was in Ahsoka the show.
They did.
So-
They did have some
There,
stuff from.
there
Ahsoka,
was
yeah,
like an
in the show.
hallucination point in Ahsoka where they showed the
And they even did it.
flashbacks.
They even
It
did a
was so
wonderful
cool.
job.
It was really cool, especially because they had Hayden Christensen dressed up in
Yes.
the Clone Wars attire.
Yes.
I was like,
and she was a kid.
So cool.
It was so cool.
They
I loved it.
it's it. Yeah.
I know. Missed
best
opportunity
moment
to
from that
capitalize
show.
on that. But we say that all the time with DC too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what they do.
Bad
I'm,
movie scripting.
I'm
yeah.
excited to see what they do. I'm cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic to see what DC does.
Yeah.
I hope they do some kind of turnaround in the Star Wars movies if they're going to come out with more Star Wars movies.
Which
'cause
one?
I'm
here's
done with
a
Rey.
question.
I'm-
Here's
like,
here's
no
a
more
question
Rey.
for you guys. Which one
She's a
of
star.
the
She's a-
three?
She's a Skywalker. She says so. She identifies as a Skywalker.
Which
in
one
her
of
last
the
movie.
original Star Wars trilogy would you guys like to see? Like, let's say this is going years and years and years and years into the future. Which one would you be most excited to see remade?
I don't want to see any remade.
I know. I was going to say they're going to ruin it if they remake it. I would say.
Because
do
you
an
know they're
alternate-
going to remake it.
No, I would say do an alternate version of the newest ones.
I
That
would say not
nice.
even an
I don't
alternate
know if they're
version.
gonna
Just
go for
get
that.
rid of them. Say
No, but I'm
they
saying
never existed. Here's
Well,
listen,
it seems it's kind of like
Ro-
what they're
Rocky-
trying to do.
Balboa did that with Rocky 5. They basically didn't exist at all. The doctor said I'm fine and skipped right over it.
yeah.
It was like, oh, doctor said I'm fine now, good. Okay, and then, like that movie never happened. So you reference it for like 3 seconds and you move
Yeah,
right on.
because it seems like
But you
they're making
can't do
stories.
that with 3 movies that introduce like you can't just like those movies don't exist. By the way, Luke Skywalker's alive and like
No, yeah, you can't recover the character.
The only thing
get
you can do
rid
is
of
go
it.
back
Just
and
get
make
rid of it.
stories before those events happen,
or just
not mention it.
Well, you could do what you had mentioned.
could just
Dave.
say, hey,
you could
this
do
was
Luke's
wrong.
life building the Jedi.
Oh, well, hey, we live in
Temple
the
again.
that was a alternate universe. We should have mentioned that going into it.
Exactly.
Star Wars
This is
has
a
multiverse as
multiverse.
well.
You know what would be really cool?
Marvel's like, "Don't steal our shtick."
If they start the movie showing the last scene of the Emperor getting killed by Rey and whatever his name is, and then all of a sudden you just see Luke come out of like the trance, as if he was like seeing it. in
And then
another
Anakin's
dimension.
Force Ghost goes, "This is what will come to pass.
Yeah,
if you don't do
exactly.
this, and then."
Right.
And then go start and start
like-
all
and
over
then
They
again.
he
pull a Twilight on him.
Well,
Yes.
And then he comes to it. And he's like, "All right, I shouldn't try and murder my nephew."
Yeah, got it. Don't kill him.
It's
Got it.
It's just him
He's
thinking about it
outside the
It's
tent.
just him.
Outside the tent, he's just sitting there. With,
He's like,
Don't go
focusing,
in,
and
got
he's
it.
like, outside the tent, he's like, just turns around and walks away.
Dude, that's
Got
literally
it.
that's literally like a YouTube
They could
skit.
do that.
An animated
How fun-
YouTube skit. What was it? Which was the YouTuber that did
How it should end. How it should have ended.
How it should have ended?
Or what
There you
ifs,
go, yeah.
the what ifs,
Yeah,
and
how it should have ended. That's
No,
literally
he still
what they
does.
should have
That's the how it should have ended.
Yeah.
That's literally what that should be. Luke just coming at like,
Yeah.
right, won't do it.
He just wakes up, never eating chocolate before bed again.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
And then you have a whole set of new movies.
That's
There you
it.
go.
The other stuff is garbage.
Yeah.
No, but-
so you keep it there as a bad dream.
There you
You know,
go.
honestly, I didn't think.
I don't want to get into the multiverse thing with Star
I
Wars
didn't,
too.
but I didn't think the first one was
Bad dream.
garbage. I didn't think the first one was garbage because it had the right
started
notes.
strong.
It
Yeah.
had the right notes of nostalgia. It had the right notes. You were looking for Skywalker.
It was the moment you saw Skywalker in the second one where they messed it up.
I feel like I've talked about this before, but there was a cool little fan film that I saw on YouTube for Star Wars where it was almost a similar plot line to Episode 7, where it was a civilian girl that found a lightsaber. This is after Order 66. Found a lightsaber, right? And the Empire is looking, and they find her with the lightsaber, and she ends up fighting them all off because the Force ghost that owned the lightsaber in life
Empowered her.
literally, I don't want to say possessed her, but almost like guided her motions with the light. Like she's literally like doing all these
I'll be
Jedi
honest, I
moves,
could
and
buy
she's
that
looking
script.
like, "How am I doing this?"
Yep.
And so I said this.
I like it.
I've definitely said
Could
this
have
before
gone
on the
that direct.
podcast.
No, I don't know.
I definitely said this before in the podcast, but I was saying that's what should have happened with Rey with Anakin's Force Ghost.
To explain why
To
she
explain
had the
why
ability.
she's able
She
to
had
be
his
this
sword,
powerful. If she's
Yeah.
holding his sword, she has this vision. She has this connection all of a
Yeah,
sudden
the
to
fact
Skywalkers.
that she was so good just because
And
she was
she's-
the great grandchild
and
of
she just-
Palpatine was
Yeah,
Right,
no,
which
no,
is-
no.
because Palpatine trained a lot too. No one shows it. But
No, he trained a
under
lot.
what's his name?
Did you ever? Did you
But
ever
but
read?
Palpatine.
Have you ever heard
But
this
Palpatine
tale of
couldn't
Darth
go-
Plagueis the Wise?
Yes.
But Palpatine couldn't go, which I was one of the things that annoyed me in the earlier movies, the prequels. He really couldn't go toe to toe with Yoda, necessarily speaking, in sheer power of the Force. That's why he had to plot and plan and devise and slowly, and that's also why he crippled Darth Vader, so Vader couldn't use Force lightning. 'Cause he was
Exactly,
a robot.
exactly.
He like
There's
he
so
was
many
the-
interesting things
say
about that.
his gear actually powered him down.
Right, that's what I'm
They
saying.
Yeah,
literally
Like,
explored
he-
that in the
like-
Vader comic. I think
Yes.
that Marvel came out with that.
Yep.
He gave him outdated biotechnological parts on purpose so that
like,
he wouldn't be as powerful.
The Palpatine, like he was crafty. He wasn't necessarily the strongest of
No,
the Sith.
he was the most conniving.
He was devious, and he was a plotter and a
yeah.
planner.
But did you ever read the Darth Plagueis book?
I don't remember.
It's non-canon, obviously. Now it's
Well,
Legends.
now it's non-canon. Darth
Now it's
Plagueis,
non-canon.
the wise.
But the Darth
Oh, they
Plagueis
don't
book.
have him as canon?
No. Darth Plagueis is canon.
Oh, but
the
not
book,
the
the
book,
events
oh.
of the
The
book is
events of the
non-canon.
book is not.
Oh my goodness! Like, dude, when you read this book, it delves into the absolute, just sadistic nature of the Sith. Like it goes deep into the minds of like the Sith and how literally Darth Plagueis was almost the one that engineered Palpatine's entire plot. And that how he is the one that like going through his training, his brutal training with Palpatine, and
That's what I'm
just
saying.
going into
Ray
the
all of a
deep-
sudden is as strong as
Yeah.
him,
Mhm.
and he went through all this training with one of the
Well, that's-
best Sith ever in existence.
delve into the whole
Right, and-
midichlorian experimentation thing where he
and-
can bring people back to life. They
Right.
delved into that in the book. They showed
And
that.
Kylo Ren
Oh.
is the.
It was a good
he's
book. You should
he's
read
a
it.
legit Skywalker,
Mm-hmm.
and the Skywalkers are like
Powerful.
the chosen.
Yeah.
Bloodline, yeah, their
Like
bloodline
that's
is so strong.
because Anakin was
Literally a
The
conception of
changer.
Force.
Like,
he was.
he was conceived by the Force.
He was created by the Force.
So I mean, like his offspring really should be amongst the most powerful. And then you have this girl, this farm girl that just happens to be like a Palpatine like clone.
Is that what she was? No.
She was,
No,
she
she's
was a daughter of a
daughter
clone.
of a clone, right?
Yep, daughter of one of Palpatine's clones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So was it a female clone?
Nope.
Because they
No.
talk about his
Male clone.
daughter. Oh,
Male
really?
clone.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Male
Yeah, I
clone.
didn't know that. And the clones we knew had nowhere near the power of the original Palpatine because they struggled with that.
No,
Even
yeah,
in
if they wanted
not to
they-
ruin Bad Batch, but they deep dive into that. in
Oh
Bad
yeah,
Batch.
they go deep into
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Without
I
going
mean,
into it. They-
Obviously,
again,
it's about clones.
I
so.
love the universe as a whole, but like
the universe
it's
is
just,
such a big
it's
part
just,
of my life,
you
and I
know,
love it.
It's a
You're
lot.
never gonna make
Never take it
everybody
away.
happy. I get that, but they're picking lately for the last like 10 years some of the worst script lines, minus Mandalorian, minus ones we mentioned, The other ones are really rough.
Yeah.
And the newest ones I haven't been able to watch. Like so, Andor I didn't watch. What's one with the kids?
Oh shoot.
Oh yeah, that one I
Skeleton
heard.
Crew, Skeleton
Crew.
I try to watch it.
I heard it wasn't bad, but you have to go
was
into it
meant for
knowing.
kids,
Yeah, you have to go
yeah.
into it knowing what you're getting into.
It was 100%
Oh, it's meant for kids?
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah, yeah.
100%
Then
made it for
fine.
kids. You could tell just by the whole vibe of it. They were going for like a Stranger Things season 1 type, like
Yeah.
Goonies type of vibe.
That is so funny you say that. I am rewatching Stranger Things.
Are you really?
I love that
Yeah.
series.
That series, see, that series, they did a good job of balancing it being for kids, but also for adults as well. It seemed, I didn't watch
shut
Skeleton
that
Crew,
off.
but it seemed, yeah, turn off your notifications.
I had it on, so if you guys called me, then I forgot to shut it back off.
Well, we're not going to call you when we're on the podcast.
It's true. I know. You might accidentally butt dial. It happens.
So, what lightsaber color would you guys
over
have?
there.
Oh, what's your favorite lightsaber color?
Or what's your favorite? Or which one would have you taken the
Yellow.
test?
Yellow.
Oh, you know what I did read?
Yellow.
I did read
Night. I think yellows are the nights.
the potential of a Mace
Yellow
Windu
was the
series.
yeah the Temple Guards. What's up?
Yes. Say again?
There's a potential of a Mace Windu series.
Yeah, I heard. They've been
There
talking
is.
about that forever.
Well,
though.
because
really
because
is.
one of the directors is really close friends to Samuel L. Jackson, and Samuel L. Jackson said many times, like, bring me in.
But I hate to
Like,
say
I'm
it,
ready.
like it's time to act because he's not getting any younger. Even though they could do a post.
They could do a
Well, the
yeah,
idea,
okay.
the idea is the
Flashbacks.
big debate. The big debate is
after he gets blown out the window.
is he dead? That's the big debate because
And that's just how it's been so far. But they brought back Maul. They can bring back
but I
Mace
mean,
Windu.
listen, how many people have fallen to their death and then like Palpatine
what
fell
was
to
the
his death?
Maul got cut in half.
Maul got cut in half.
What was the funny one? What's his name? What was Kenobi's master's name again?
Qui-Gon.
Got stabbed in the gut.
He gets stabbed in the gut. He goes, "How did that kill him?" And then they show right after
Maul gets cut in half and he's alive.
he's fine. They're like, but he got a little jab in the gut, and that kills him. And he's supposed to be one of these stronger Jedi, not the strongest, but the stronger.
Basically,
Jedi.
what it is that here's the way I put it in my head canon. Qui-Gon was meant to become the first
ghost,
Force
yeah.
Ghost. He was meant to do that. He was meant to pave that path.
He was the guy that
so
figured out
that's
how to
the
do
reason
it.
why. Yeah.
almost like he wanted to die because he knew kind of it was going that direction.
Which is interesting from the Kenobi series.
Well, he's Jesus, basically.
He looks like
He
it
sacrifices himself so that
for the others. Kenobi series, you're saying?
Well, it was interesting because in the Kenobi series, he appeared at the end of that. Right? Spoiler, sorry everybody. He appeared at the end of the Kenobi series.
It's
as
been
a-
when it's out for more than 2 years.
I
spoilers
know.
happen.
Yeah. At this point, it's like, come on.
And that was another one that I did not like a lot.
It
of
had
the Kenobi
moments
series.
where it had moments. There. Let's put it this way.
It had
We all
moments
know
where it was
why.
good.
We all know why we were watching it. We all know the real reason why we were watching that show. It was not to just see, I wonder what Obi-Wan was up to. It was like, no, we wanted to see Obi-Wan fight Darth Vader, but not like Sir Alec Guinness.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what it
They
was.
should've just-
We all know why we're watching. That
It's-
was the main
It's funny how
reason
they
why.
changed like
But again,
all the
another
original
whining,
films.
crying baby the entire movie until the end.
And all the original films is more like a European fencing style.
Yes.
And then it switched to more a Japanese.
Yeah, anime style.
Yeah.
Well, like the
Honestly,
first
I
one was
enjoyed
Hayden and what's his name
Yeah.
in the last of the three, where they had that huge fight battle and it's spinning
Oh,
and
Luke
flipping and
Skywalker
jumping
and Darth Vader.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
it was
second,
a lot more involved in that one.
still one of my favorite scenes ever, I think, is the first time you see Yoda with the lightsaber.
It was cool. It was very cool.
Like in the theater, the first time, with, like
well,
he's
the,
just.
the theater goes nuts when
I
he
just
did that.
stop
broke
it. He's
out
just
Well,
stop
he
it.
drops the cane and pulls
Well,
it
because
out.
he stops everything with the Force. Like every time, what's his face is
Count
no,
Dooku.
Yeah, Dooku's done, and he's just
That
like,
was
nope.
cool. And then he pulls the
Nope.
lightsaber out, and I was like, oh. And
When
then,
he did
and then
it,
he's going
he
like,
did it
and
with
he's
the,
doing the
he did
flips
it
and
with
the
the
whatever.
Force,
Yeah.
and it just goes nuts because it played into my favorite aspect of Yoda. Even when you first meet Yoda, is that he looks like an old man and he plays the role of the fool, the goofball,
Yep.
until it's time to get serious.
And if you watch the Clone Wars, he does that a lot.
until it's,
lots of
it's-
goofball stuff.
Still, it's time until it's time to be like,
Business.
and then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, this guy can throw down.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think they didn't show enough in the series of the difference between a candidate and like a master level, right?
like a youngling,
minus
yeah.
Yoda. I think they should have really just showed.
Well, Mace Windu was supposed to be like the second
Yes.
strongest on the council, like Yoda, and then there's Mace, and then
And that's exactly what they did,
Have
yeah.
him against
Yeah.
the
He beat
Emperor.
Palpatine.
He was winning. He was
He
winning.
did.
yeah.
He beat him.
He caught the lightning on the lightsaber.
Yeah,
He did.
He
beat him.
was winning. Yeah, he was winning.
Yeah, 100%.
Until-
And I hate that when people go like, "Oh, Palpatine just let him win."
No.
They're like, no. See,
No,
Palpatine
the
went
argument's
into that
there.
fight
The
knowing he
argument's
was going
there.
to lose. Declan, come here, back me up. Palpatine was going into the fight knowing that he was going to lose, but Anakin was going to show up and save him. That's why he was in that
Meaning he
fight.
let him win.
Like, no.
Because he didn't strategize for a win. He strategized
Now
for
listen.
a loss.
Now listen. If he was strategizing,
We just talked about how he's a strategy master.
Declan's pointing at me and yelling. Here you go. So when put it this, it's not that he
But
let
you
him
just
win.
said it.
No. Listen up.
You said he
So-
planned to let him lose.
No,
so that he
I
had
did not
Vader
say
there.
that. I did not say that.
That's
I
exactly
said
what
he
he said.
was going into that fight knowing that he could not beat
If
Mace.
you go into a fight knowing, then that is your plan to let it happen.
No, you're going into the plan. No, you're still gonna go fight. You still fight. Yeah, that's that right there. Yeah,
You
buddy.
think- You think he would have gone in there and just died? No, he
I think
knew,
Mace would have. I think if Anakin hadn't showed up, he 100%.
Well, he didn't-
Mace
But
would have
he
killed him.
knew
He
that
didn't
was gonna
let him win, but he wouldn't have challenged him if he didn't know
Exactly.
he had.
An out.
No, he would have
An
got.
out. So he was smart enough.
Anakin was coming up.
He was smart enough
Yeah.
to plot ahead of time, so he already had Mace.
That was
beat
always Palpatine's
because
thing.
he was like, "Listen, I can't
Yeah.
match your strength. I ain't got plan B.
I have
Ready
the
to go.
chosen
Dude,
one.
it's like Seth Rollins and the recent
No.
wrestling thing. He knew what was going to happen.
No, once again, letting someone win is different from knowing you can't beat someone.
Yes, but he
I'd say, well, he had a contingency plan, so
Yeah.
he still tried to beat me, but he had his contingency plan. ready to go.
100%. Yeah.
I don't think he went
He
in and
wouldn't have
didn't give
just
it his
gone in
all.
and be laid
Oh,
down for
I don't
Mace.
think he was
no.
all out against Windu because he
Well, I was
wanted,
annoyed-
he needed to lose.
I was annoyed with that fight with him and Yoda because, like, at some point Yoda's just like, "All right, I'm out." Like,
yeah,
like
yeah, that was a weird fight, and that was a potential too to be a banger of a fight. Those two.
I
Yeah.
did no. I enjoyed the. Okay, my lightsaber is powered off. It is asleep for now.
Our technology. Doing a lot of
Yeah,
talking,
technology is
apparently.
doing a lot of talking today. Yeah, I think it was kind of weird that there wasn't sort of like a definitive reason why Yoda left. Like they
were
could have
spinning
explained
they
it a
were
little
spinning
better.
The council, the
Yeah.
Senate's,
Senate,
they were
yeah.
spinning the Senate's things.
Yeah, they were
and
throwing
then
them at
he was-
each other
he was
and
doing
stuff
a
All
like
good job.
different
that.
pedestals.
And then he's just like, "All right, I'm out."
He literally ends
I
up like
can't
This
beat
fight's
him.
boring.
he literally ends up holding back the Force lightning of Darth Sidious, which is well known as like one of the most powerful Force Sith lightning users in
Yep.
history, and he's holding
Without
it
a
back.
lightsaber, yep.
Yeah, and he's holding it back with just the Force, and then all of a sudden he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go see Bale."
Yeah,
I would've-
get over me.
I would have
I
preferred.
think they could have done that a little better.
I would have preferred like Yoda not have the cane until like he gets cut
Hit
by like
Sidious, yeah.
and then that's why
Had to be
you
a
see him
reason.
start to limp, and then now
Yeah.
he's got a cane. Like
Yeah, but they wanted the cane for
a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
And again, I really wish that they would have built up to how strong these guys really are by having them fight. So you have characters that you'll build through the movie that are really good, like they did. They did a decent job with Dooku against Anakin and Obi-Wan, where they struggled against him. Like you saw the different level of Dooku versus
Yeah.
the two
Oh,
of them.
Dooku's
And then you
incredible.
see
They
them
do
fight
the
again.
Clone Wars too.
and they got better. Yes,
They do that in the Clone Wars too.
Yeah, I like that,
But the
though.
Clone Wars was better at setting up the entire.
Well, you
universe.
saw the
Oh,
Emperor,
yeah, in general,
the
yes.
Emperor against Maul and his brother.
Oh,
Like those are great
Oh my
fights,
gosh.
but it shows
Well,
you the
that's
so
difference.
good.
Well, that's
Like
again. I
good.
argue
So
that
different.
the Clone Wars cartoons did way more for the universe than the prequels did.
oh yeah,
Because
Yes.
the cartoons were like.
such great
I mean,
character building.
Anakin in the first three movies is so whiny, and you don't get a sense of how connected him and Obi-Wan are because all they do is bicker on the screen.
Yeah, what they went through in the Clone Wars is insane.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And the
You
fact that
see
he
that-
was a general.
You see
Like, they
the
both were
brotherhood
generals.
between them,
Yep.
where in the movies it looks like Anakin's just
it's
he's
definitely necessary.
whining.
You
I think
notice
if you're
they
trying to get the full
followed
picture,
that
Clone Wars
whiny
is
path
necessary.
with the Skywalkers.
Yeah,
Really
I
interesting.
think the Clone Wars is necessary.
No, but
to
I
get the
mean,
full
like
scope
all
of their
they do is
characters, for
bicker.
Sure.
All they do is bicker.
Yeah.
He's constantly bickering with Obi-Wan. It doesn't even look like he likes Obi-Wan most of the time. Where, like in the Clone Wars, you see like the one episode where like he thinks Obi-Wan's dead. Like you see like how much he cares.
And he
You don't
gets
get that-
dangerously close to the dark side in that one.
You don't get that in the movies. You
And
just don't. You don't see that
Clone
connection.
Wars, because of how much time it had, they were able to build that transition for Anakin so much better.
Yeah.
Right. Like it really was a lot of key points that made.
Well,
him
there's
start to
times you
transition.
saw him use-
versus he just got tricked into.
Well,
it.
you saw the times where he's like dabbled in the
Yep.
dark,
Yeah.
like that
He
episode
got
where he
very close.
tortures him, where like you see other Jedi, like
React to 'em.
But you also see other Jedi starting to dabble because they're not supposed to be in wars. You see them start to dabble in the dark side. Like what's that the one Jedi that's mistreating the clones?
Pong Crow,
Yep.
He's mistreating
Hate him.
the clones.
which is supposed to happen. You're supposed to hate him, but hate him.
But you see
Successful
other,
script.
but you see
Exactly,
other Jedi.
You're exactly right.
You see
The
other Jedi.
Umbara arc was one of the most the heaviest arcs in all of Clone Wars.
But that's why
and that wasn't even
Ahsoka-
any.
That
There
was
wasn't even any of
towards-
the main characters.
Yeah.
it was.
that's-
It was just the clones
He
and then
came
this
in
guy.
just for that arc.
But
yeah.
that's why Ahsoka starts to step away, and she's like, "No, you guys have all lost your way." Like she's the first one to call the entire council on it. Like,
Which
what
was
do you
a
guys do?
huge
Like,
moment, right? It was a huge.
like they were gonna
moment. Like, oh my
reinstate
God,
her. She were gonna
step away.
reinstate her, and she's like, "No, I'm out." Like,
I don't want to be reinstated.
like
And that's why, I really wish they would have made a Star Killer canon.
one
And
can
the
dream.
fact that he's still alive, like the actor's still young enough, where it's like you could have done a
pull it
Star,
off.
you could do a Star
Pull it
Killer,
off. Yeah, he could pull it
or
off in real
have him
life,
in
yeah.
as like a side character to one of the existing movies. as
Well,
he
people
existed.
were saying that they were going to insert him into the Kenobi series as one of the people hunting down Kenobi.
They
like
should
one of
have.
Vader's
Even if they never interact,
lackeys.
they should have had him like just a scene of him on a planet doing the search.
Oh, I wish.
He was
wish.
such a great character.
He's one of my
in
favorite
the
Star Wars
game.
characters, period.
Oh yeah, so good. Have you played any of the games Star Wars Unleashed?
Force Unleashed.
Oh,
Yeah, Force Unleashed.
Really great clone character
Yeah.
that was a that worked for Vader. Right?
Yeah.
Vader's
No,
a
I know the
princess,
general.
princess
I know the
wizard.
general.
Yeah.
That. I played early Star Wars games before that, but
That was probably one of the first Star Wars games that I played where the balance of the use of the Force and lightsabers was perfect compared to and now
You
they're
had a
doing
lot of
it
Force
better
abilities.
now with the games now, but it was like
You had a
even
lot
just
of
like
Force
picking
abilities.
they made him so dominant at a certain point of the game that it was fun playing as the character,
Yeah.
right? Like you'd have multiple stormtroopers coming and he's just tooling these guys with the right maneuvers that you'd want to see in a Star Wars movie from a
Brutality.
It was cool.
yeah. Well,
What it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, you guys watching any Star Wars stuff tonight to celebrate?
no.
Whatever's on.
I mean,
They
I'm
always
sure there'll
show
be
stuff
something
on it.
the
Yeah,
TV.
so I'll throw it on there. Yeah,
we got plenty of Star Wars. Doing
I've seen all of it so many times that it's kind of just like, I don't care which one.
We got
Andor season 2.
we got plenty.
Actually,
of
that
it.
is something that I do want to watch.
We got
tonight,
plenty
yes.
of it doing the Jedi Night, which is 2 sessions of lightsaber battles with kids,
Oh, it's so fun.
and then
So fun.
what we started off like
Oh, we didn't talk about the video yet. We
we
should
started
end
off
with that.
we're just gonna do a little video, and then that turned into like we start. You know how our videos
Remember
go.
the little video-
Like
remember the
we
little
start
short-
with a little popcorn kernel of an
Yeah.
idea, and
it
then
blows
once,
up.
once
Like-
we start doing things, it just starts to go.
Remember the little short that we did last year?
Yeah.
Or was just like, or was it 2 years ago?
The one where you're staying on the
Where
box?
it's like,
Yeah.
where he gets up in the box. I have the high ground, Steven. And then he throws the croc at me and knocks me down.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, maybe we'll do something similar to that, like a little lightsaber duel where I come back and then we fight again, and then it just decided to progress into something that needed, like the last video that we did was just all one shot. This one had like a whole dialogue set up to it, and then
Which didn't initially start
No,
that way.
didn't initially
It
start that
started
way.
like literally at one point I was doing the mirrors that we knew we were going to start that way, and then I just looked at my watch and was like, it must be May 4th, and he just rolled with it.
Yep.
And then that's how that all started. Like we didn't script that out. That was just us talking.
no, it was a little bit.
I like the
improvs.
finding the light part too. That was funny.
Yeah.
You're like,
I was like,
we need to make it darker in here.
part of that was a little was actually somewhat real because I was trying to keep eye contact with him.
yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. You had to
And
turn
Rob-
around.
Rob-
But, and
so-
then once I didn't hit the light switch right away, I was like, all right, we're selling this. I
So
was like,
Rob had some good ideas too. Rob was filming for us.
Yeah,
And
nice.
then he did a lot of the camera work. Like he did all the camera work, but I mean he came up with like some of the motions. He came up with how Steve was gonna do the lightsaber from his back.
Okay, cool.
so yeah. Once again, if you guys have not watched our lightsaber duel from this year, you should go watch it. It's linked down below. There will be a
Love it.
blooper reel coming out. I will try to get it
That's
out by
a 3.5
tomorrow.
hour long.
No,
Just
it's
kidding.
not that. It's not that long.
No.
I will try to have it out by tomorrow. If I do not, I will let you all know when it will be out by. But yes, it was a lot of fun to film. I enjoyed it, and then next year I would love to do something that involves you as well.
Yes, that has happened to be out of pocket this year. But
yeah,
we'll have
yeah.
to pre-record it and just have it on the back end.
Well, that's what we had intended to do this year,
we
but
had a
it-
whole, he had a whole
yeah,
script ready
I had
to
a
go.
whole
That
script.
was-
Right, it was a good script.
Like the Scream and
then we just happened to
how
be,
Nick stole Crockmas video.
we
I
just
had a whole
ran
script
out of
planned out for
time.
it. We just didn't have time.
May snuck up on us because
So-
April was April was busy. April was a busy month
It
with,
was.
with Easter,
was.
spring break. We had our first race.
Yes.
It was just there was
Boot camps.
well, yeah, it's just
Yep, a
time
lot.
just slipped away, and then we're like, oh man, we don't have the time to film this, and then we're like, let's just do a little short thing, and then yeah, so we tried to do a little short thing.
That
and
was
then
cool.
It,
That
it
came out
kerneled
great.
up a little bit.
Wow, that was cool.
Yeah,
For real.
comfort mode.
I enjoyed it a lot, and I know
I
he
heard
did
it.
too. And then, like I said, next year Nick will be in the Star Wars video for sure.
We'll do it.
All right,
All right, then.
let's kick this crock into comfort mode.
If you have not already, please make sure that you follow us on Instagram and
Follow
on TikTok.
us.
at
Follow us, you
Kickin
will.
In Crocs. Yeah, follow us.
I like that. Good.
KICKIN.in.crocs.
CROCS.
He's doing the Jedi
The
mind
best
trick
it
hand
is.
motion, by the way, for all the audio listeners, he's doing the Jedi mind trick hand motion. So now you have no choice but to
Have
subscribe
everyone
to
you
us.
ever meet subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to us on YouTube to watch the video versions of this podcast and to watch our awesome lightsaber duel, which you should go watch. Link down below. And comment your favorite Star Wars film. Comment if you guys remember what are the three of us. What each of us, which Star Wars films are our favorites. Comment below if you watched those episodes from last year. And if you don't remember, go back and
comment
rewatch those
which characters in the Star Wars universe you think each of us would be.
Ooh, that's pretty
And
good too.
I don't know if I ever said on the show, if anyone knows Luca's favorite Star Wars character.
I don't think you mentioned it on
No?
the show.
Then I'm not
I
saying
don't
it.
even know it.
Take a random guess, and I'll let you guys know in the next show.
Sounds good to me.
I will end this with real fast. We used to have a student who had a favorite Star Wars character, but she couldn't. She was so young. She
Oh,
couldn't
you
say
said
the
this
name.
before, yeah.
And the name was Chuckabucka.
Chuckabucka.
Chewbacca.
Oh, really? That she
Yeah.
said it?
That's how she said
awesome.
Chewbacca. Was
That's
Chuckabaka.
awesome.
There you
Chuckabaka.
mentioned that,
Chuckabaka.
actually, yeah. All right, then. That's all I got. Until next time, I've been Steve.
Which one do I say? Always Dave? Or
Yes.
do I say still Dave?
You say always Dave.
Always Dave.
5 stars and still Nick.
Oh, shoot. I did forget that.
I
I'm
did
sorry.
it already. Too late. Let's
Good.
go on.
5 stars. Still Dave. Always Nick. Some guy named Steve.
Some Jedi named Steve. And until next time, the Force will be with you.
Have the sword on for the
Always.
end of the show. Come on.
I have to turn on. Okay.
Yes, the end of the show. Oh, that's cool. Oh, on that note.
The Crocs will be with your feet. Always.
You stay kicking, Internet.
Enjoy the fun, shining with interesting people while styling while we run. It's kicking in Crocs. We're kicking in Crocs.